Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Law in Motion. What if I told you that one court case changed the way India handles workplace harassment forever? This is the story of Vishakha versus State of Rajasthan, a landmark case that not only exposed a deep-rooted issue but forced the entire nation to rethink women's safety at work. Before we dive in, let's break down the basics. This isn't just any case, it's the origin of the Vishakha Guidelines, the precursor to laws that protect women from sexual harassment at the workplace in India. But what exactly are these guidelines, and why were they necessary? Imagine working in an environment where there are no rules, no protections, and no accountability. That's exactly what the situation was before this case came to light.
हमें इस बाल विवाह को रोकना होगा। यह कानून के खिलाफ है और हमारे बच्चे बेहतर भविष्य के हकदार हैं।
वो खुद को क्या समझती है, जो हमें क्या करने को कह रही है? ये हमारी परंपरा है, वो समुदाय में परेशानी पैदा कर रही है।
आप अपनी छोटी बेटी की शादी किए बिना भी जश्न मना सकते हैं। उसे पढ़ने दें, उसे सपने देखने दें।
वो बहुत आधुनिक हो गई है। वो हमेशा हस्तक्षेप करती रहती है, वो अब हम में से नहीं है।
Our story begins with Bhanwari Devi, a social worker in Rajasthan. Her job? To prevent child marriages, a task that didn't sit well with many in her community. But what happened next was beyond horrifying. Bhanwari Devi was brutally gang-raped by those she had tried to stop. The worst part, she faced unimaginable barriers in seeking justice. The local police and courts failed her. But this wasn't just a failure of one case, it was a failure of the entire system to protect women in their workplaces. This is where Vishakha and other women's rights groups stepped in, filing a public interest litigation PIL that changed everything. The PIL led to the Supreme Court establishing the Vishakha Guidelines in 1997, setting the first ever definition of sexual harassment in India and creating a framework for workplace safety. The guidelines mandated employers to prevent, prohibit, and redress sexual harassment. They were the first legal acknowledgement that workplace safety for women was not a privilege but a right. The court declared, gender equality includes protection from sexual harassment and the right to work with dignity. These words were not just a statement, they were a rallying cry for change. Let's pause here for a moment. Imagine being in Bhanwari Devi's shoes, fighting against the very system meant to protect you. How would you feel? How do you think these guidelines impacted workplaces? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get this conversation going. So, what can we learn from Vishakha versus State of Rajasthan? First, it's a reminder that change often starts with brave individuals speaking out. Second, it shows the power of collective action, how civil society and the courts can reshape laws. And finally, it underscores the importance of continued vigilance because these guidelines laid the groundwork, but the fight for safer workplaces is ongoing. But the story doesn't end here. In our next video, we'll dive into how these guidelines evolved into the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act, 2013, and whether the law is living up to its promise today. Don't miss it, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to know their rights, and let's keep the conversation alive. Law isn't just about rules, it's about the people it's meant to protect. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep the law in motion.